All right, Fambul, hello and welcome back to AYV Radio 101.7 FM, AYV TV, channel 33, and online on www.ayvnews.com, or you also watch me live on Facebook, on AYV Facebook page. This night's show, the Back to Base show, with the broadcast live from London. And today we talk about the new airports, the benefits, and what's not people then take about it. We get Brother Kai from the Tourism Ministry with the spokesperson. We also get Brother Mengots in an expert way. Don't work in a lot of places all around the world. We'll get online. And we'll also get forget other people them out there. Again, Brother Mengots, you go say hi to people. The people hear you. Brother Mengots, you get me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Introduce yourself again, let people, maybe people are just tuning the radio or the TV.
Well, for the one that we just tune in, me na Victor got me na transportation and traffic based in UK, but mostly working all over Africa and Europe,
All right.
and also in Sierra Leone as well. And I'm happy for saying today a memorable day because when they start this new facility, they open up. Now they start my career in Lunge Airport as an air traffic controller almost 46 years ago. So I go and share my experience with you now, both based on what I've been on doing at Salon and elsewhere in the world.
Okay, before we come to Brother Kai, Brother Mengo, just tell we, somebody who don't travel in a different part of the world and what you think about this airport?
Well, first of all, it's a welcome development, and where I look at, first of all, I have to say congratulations to the chairman of the OPII, Dr. John Tambi.
Yeah.
We two start with career at the same time. In the 70s, when I be one of the pilots, the way they fly in Skyland, the way they go up line, and me being there at the control tower. So it's a great improvement, and also the facilities them, according to what in tell we very good. I just hope so no more like all the modern airports in Africa, we will get a free Wi-Fi system for the airport because that is standard. Because I remember the last time I go Freetown, somebody be in plane delay, one talk to in Fambul them. There was no Wi-Fi system. So I've been just going for making use my own Saratel Wi-Fi system. So it's a welcome development. There's an improvement in the runway. We get an extended loop. The loop now the part there at the end of the runway where the aircraft they turn and hold before it take off. We get improved search and rescue facility. And I shall say, well, with the new control tower in positioning, we go able to provide very good navigational system for the people that will use the airport, especially the airline.
All right, like I say, you don't work in a different parts. I mean, what's your advice you go on for Guy towards this airports, the benefits to people? One, yes, we know say the norm. I mean, they don't build the airports, and experts. What's your advice? Taking into consideration, would expect at least more planes then go begin kaya, price then go reduce, and people go begin kind of salary go make more money because, as you know, we get for payback for the airports. I mean, for the arrangements, I think it's BOT or so.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it, airport is just, I'll call them an air transit facility. But the interesting thing for attract flights them to we country, we get for also get the hospitality facilities them, especially hotels them around the area. For example, British Airways, they been a camp Freetown, then stop. And there has been attempt for bring them back. And one of them concern for say, well, look here, if we get for come back, and obviously if you take their long flights and they then get for change crew, they need proper hospitality facility where the crew then go change, where they not get for begin think about for cross the river, go get hotel in a Freetown. Then a one. So in terms of the crew, change is very important. But when I really minister them and other people and talk about this facility, a transit hub. What thing that mean when you talk about a transit hub for an airport, you get for look and say na a point where other aircraft then they come for let people then connect. And we get geographical position. Our airport is well positioned because across the Atlantic, we are within at the shortest distance to the South American continent. In fact, when I've been working at airport day, when we tune your radio in Lunge, we even hear the controller in Recife in Brazil. So forget the transit facilities. What is important, I hear the minister Rob Motspandande small, we can forget a major airline we go use them as a hub. Like if you take Jomo Kenyatta Airport, you get Kenya Airways at the main hub. And next week I'll be flying through Addis Ababa. Ethiopia Airways at the main hub na Addis Ababa. You come closer to home, you take the airport in Lome, na Askai the main hub. So firstly, we can forget a major airline we go use as an hub for connect the west coast of Africa, Europe, and part of North America. That is very important because we not get a national airline. The government only talk about it. We can forget that hub. The other thing, when you talk about tourism and flights, one of my advice will be Lunga is a very good area because the airport is just one facility. So we talk about the multiplier effect. And I think so if we look at places across the world, like if you take like Jamaica, where Sierra Leone don't sign agreements with recently in terms of tourism, then get place like Montego Bay, and then get a big company like Sandals, where they fly in tourists from different parts of the world, and then get very good hospitality facility. You take Banjul next door, then get other these big tourist companies there like TUI, like Leone, where they go there. So if you get more tourist flights they come, and we get the facility and attraction, it means there's competition with the scheduled airline then they could definitely bring the airline ticket. Just for give you an example, about 2 years ago, I want to take my family on holidays, I think for Camp Freetown. When I consider what I've been for pay for 2 people, the price of the tickets for 5 people now equivalent for take me go Banjul. And then get very good facilities in there in terms of hotels, reasonable hotels, even though the beach not as good as we do. So it all comes with a package. So if we want to increase the aviation throughput, first, we need a major airline for use as a hub. Secondly, we get to look at how we can develop that Lunge area there, even like a techni hub. And we get fine beach in Lunge. I lived in Lunge for 3 years. If you go to Conakry Beach, it's one of the best in Sierra Leone. So these are the things we have to look at.
Okay, but Amengot, you mentioned about big airline be a major hub. But we get Brussels, we get other airlines with the Air France and the other one them. So which again they suggest? Because these are big airlines.
Let's look at the big airline. What I mean like a hub. Hub now where the airline
will come and distribute. Get that small one the way they like Brussels.
They get small the distributor. Like give Brussels. Another thing where you talk about Air France and Brussels.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Air France, they operate from Paris to Freetown to Conakry. Now Conakry, then they change crew.
Okay.
And if then they change crew na Conakry, it means now more income to the country because then crew get for dinner hotel, then get for refuel, then get for do the maintenance. The same with SN Brussels. Then they fly from Brussels to Freetown to Robertsfield and Monrovia. Now then they change crew. But this is the point I made earlier. Like these big airlines, like British Airways, they get for change crew in Sierra Leone, that Lunge area, we need a better hospitality facility, hotel we go there open 24 hours for the crew. So it can be a transit point. It can also be a hub. Perhaps since we deal with the Turkish company that then get my dream or my hope. Yeah. So like Turkish Airline now could make the Lunge airport the hub for Africa.
Right.
So people like can fly from Istanbul, then they're able to get flights to different places in West Africa, up to Nigeria or other parts of the world. They can even use it as a hub because if they get a big airline, one of the problems we get now, we not get direct flight to the North American continent.
Okay.
So it can be say they can begin fly from the airport to America. So these are the things we get for look at in terms of the different airport operation, the type of operation, and how we use the airport. That is the only way we can attract more airline and traffic, because even with tourist flights, when they bring passenger come back, they not get for sit down wait, they get for go back. So if that load factor there, you know, go attract them there. So if you get tourists the way they can different time of one, when they bring some tourists in, it means say you go get some more tourists who are ready for go. So waiting do we airline, we air ticket more expensive again. Now because when people in the come na saloon,
Yeah.
then they bring in, but then they get boku for take go. And when you take the average income of the Sierra Leonean as well, almost Sierra Leonean they fly. Even if you take Banjul where near we, I realize that now people they even travel to Banjul by road. So these are the issues that we have to consider.
All right. So what's going to be advised to the tourism ministry? Because I'll get brother Kai Wayne and they talk for the ministry, and you now somebody who work in a different part of the world, then stuff here.
Yeah. Yes. My advice to the Ministry of Tourism.
Yeah.
Then you forget interministerial approach. Let's look at Lunge as a technical hub or tourism hub. Okay. Because if you begin to get people in the can Lunge, there are lots of facilities where people want to see, like whitewater rafting. Yeah. You get the Conakry Beach. So if you get facility where people can Lunge, it's cheaper. You get good hotel, which means they not get for cross the Rokel River. And that throughput of traffic day, it will attract more tourists. Then you will get tourists from Lunge. You get to get that connection, like the way they go inland. Like you talk about the Wara Mountains and all those places. So inland connectivity is very good. And most of the people where they talk about this new facility, even for we where they travel, go Freetown, we not to tourists. Now that activity, the way they look at airport, you get to look at land access. Land access is very important. And they talk about the land access, right? Even when you cross the sea, when I was working at the airport, we get ferry them like MV Popoli, MV Mahera. This ferry them they run according to schedule, not just with the airline. So now we get facility in our government WAF. So you get to look at connectivity, but connectivity not just to Freetown mainland, but also connectivity upline. Like some people the way they come fly car in, not to Freetown no more than they. You get more than bus service system. Like in America, they call them Greyhound. Like me, I live in England near Gatwick Airport, but most of my flight na Heathrow. So I get bus service the way they take me from Gatwick to airport, to Heathrow. So the land surface access, quality, and price is very important.
But overstand say this get connected to Putloko, we get land going back to, over there, on the land side going around to Masiaka. What do you think about that?
Yes, it's a good. I think some years ago I worked with a company where we look at how to connect Lunge to the mainland.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't hear anybody, but if you go further on into Putloko, where you go to Putloko Road, you can connect a shorter bridge through the Putloko Creek.
Okay.
Yeah, where just they come take you up to about Okroil, then part the day. So when you take the distance between the airport to cross to go that place, by road it's less than 30 minutes. And now we're fortunate, we don't get improved road network. When you come, for the one the way they go Waterloo, where they come Western, they can use the Regent Regent Grafting Road. They take you straight to Lumley.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the people, if you come with ferry, you come down by Tagreen, you can use the hillside bypass, we can take you straight to Tong. So the road connectivity, we don't get strategic routes then. But not just the infrastructure, but the means of transport. Now I'll get for a look at. But if you talk about a bridge, a cheaper bridge will be connecting that part of Putloko on the creek. Because if you talk about the bridge, because they're far away from the shipping lane where they go Pepel. So there's a possibility for get a bridge there where you can even use road for come less than 1.5 hours, you don't reach Freetown. Because if you take Uganda, the airport there now Entebbe, away from Kampala, the distance between Entebbe and Kampala is about 1 hour 15 minutes. So if we do a good road network with then connectivity there, you can travel by road where it will take you about 1 hour 15, 1 hour 30 minutes for reach mainland Freetown. So you get option. Some man go on ferry, some man go and take speedboat, and some man go and go by land. So now we give people the option. We look at the network and we look at the connectivity. Now it's very important, which we call left to the airport.
One of the things that we want to discuss earlier on, I mean, before we bring you into this issue about the airport, because you know somebody way engineer don't deal with then traffic, roads, and whatever give do the Iron project. And hopefully we'll give a talk about maybe next week with other people. But how you think, think say this go able connect Dande, like you mentioned about the hillside bypass road, and some time ago, then they talk about this Iron project, so give a do it bus service where think say this go just connect with Dande.
Okay. In my own profession, when you look at that thing there, we get what we call land use transportation planning.
Yeah.
I'm also an urban planner. So when you plan the main facilities there, you get to look at how you plan the area, you structural plan, you transport system, housing, hospitality. So the project where government they bring under this IROM project, for them they don't know that it called Integrated Resilient Urban Mobility Project, where the government they try for improve public transport operation, we get a new regulatory system and a modern bus system in Salon. I think so that they go help with traveling, even people where they come mainland. Very soon we will see modern bus service where all that they go interest people there for come Freetown, and you get for link the two together, land, sea, and air. You plan them all together, and the movement of people, quality of service, and safety.
All right, Brother Mengo, thank you very much. We can get Brother Kai, and yes, we don't try to forget Brother Kai online. Hello, Brother Kai.
Brother Mengo, thank you very much. Brother Mengo, thank you very much for your contribution. That is so interesting and educational. I want to applaud you. And this base,
yeah,
my elder brother talk about accessibility.
Yeah.
Something you call him as a tourism technician.
Okay.
In the inland is vital. There is no tourist destination where you can visit if there is no access, neither by water, by land. There must be access.
Okay.
This new airport give you the possibility.
Yeah.
They give you the land for the people with the land in Port Loco. Oh my God. Go by Port Loco and enter Freetown. And enter Freetown. But also, I want for let Brother Mengo also understand. A measure say in an urban development person, we don't get these airports. This new airports with almost 2 or 3 terminals.
Yeah.
This is a very good starting point as a nation. It is a very good point for we as a nation. So it also mentioned about the accommodation, the amenities, facilities get for the yes. When you look this new airport, you look how many coffee shops they get. You look at the duty-free shops they will get. You look at the waiting centers. You look at the escalator up and down. You look at the upper pavilion and the down pavilion. You look also we don't begin to pay attention to the things where we travel and see oversee as a country. this new airport, whenever we get a visiting president,
Yeah.
it gets something to depart from. You understand?
Yeah.
This new airport get more space for new offices then, different space offices here, people who have for rental for doing different things. The departure and the arrival speak a volume of what we represent we as a country. The tourism pictures, the tourism photos they will provide, the tourism videos they have for the show on the slide. There is that thing we call the fine touch of art that this new airport will represent we as people, and we have to be proud of this. No matter where you belong, no matter where you come out, the airport represents Sierra Leone, not an individual, not a class of people, but we as a nation. And the airport also, I want for also throw light. I want for also throw light, Brother Base.
Yes, Brother Kai. Yeah.
Before,
Yeah.
you know they get a call hub. Within this hub, now that's where they can wear to the flight in month when people in the pass through, we get AC, fully aircon.
Yeah. First time you go can down the tarmac.
Now, there is an attachment. Thank you. Now, you're going through that pipe, you're going through that hub, and you enter to your flight. This from your waiting room or from your queue direct to the flight. Waiting this mean? For we as a country, for we as a tourism sector, it means we are ready for divert the demand curve of the tourism traffic from other sub-regions there. We're ready for position and self. Like we don't begin for position we self. But I bet you don't go believe. Today they do the official opening ceremony of the airport.
Yeah.
And yesterday, the Ministry of Tourism, National Tourist Board, gets the Americans and the Canadian tour operators and travel journalists. They refuse the William people Yagi.
We'll get some problem with the line. Yeah.
When you get out of this country,
Yeah.
they were commenting. When you out of saloon, the headlines the way you see. We can say the country is a different thing altogether.
Okay.
And these people were so cocksure, they were so sacrosanct that their headlines will speak a volume when it comes to destination management and destination control. So airport is one. I go back. To see new market. They use for ask. If the airports don't come, what would they do as tour operators? They don't provide the bus services. They don't provide, reasonable water services. They don't provide, decent hotel cabs.
Yeah.
We get internet or we get Wi-Fi. When they provide bus services there, we get internet, we get Wi-Fi. You understand? So when the person don't come down from the airport, he enter the bus, reception drink for the reception journey for the Wi-Fi for the on the bus when the tourists they take up. Now this they elevate the destination. That this will make the destination become compatible. And this will make the destination become favorable. With all the small yamia, if they absent, no problem. So the way forward, DJ Base.
Yeah.
The way forward. Yes, it is a new airport, we understand. Yes, it has terminals, we understand. Yes, coffee shops are there, we understand. Yes, there are going to be offices. But every investment, they look for ROI, return on that particular investment. This airport, we're not for just Ola as a picture. We're not for just Ola as a monument. We're not for just Ola as a relics. We have to be creative and ensure say this airport create impact for we the people,
Okay.
and for also to the tourist generating regions there where we operate respectively.
All right. Quickly, we can wrap up, Brother Kai, with you. But quickly, you mentioned something. Well, we're not going to the airport it and say another day. But one thing I don't see na different airports and we are not been seen at the past airports before we get this new one. You know, somebody with the tourism in, like you mentioned, don't travel in a different part of the world now. The internet service, where most airports where you go, you just the input your email address, then you get connected to the internet. So what you go say about that? We also they encourage people we not be to see from the last airport or you know be effective. Well, we never go to Lungi airport, all the travel to and fro and get connected to the internet, like where they happen on the other side. Like then country yourself, you can go inside bus system, train, as you input your email address and your password and some maybe your telephone number, you're connected. That facility did in that airport day.
Brother Mengot mentioned about accessibility. Accessibility not only for cross-water, for work and land. Internet.
Yeah.
Accessibility
Yeah.
can also be access to internet. Like we mentioned just now. There are some airports as if you land, so if you don't pass the before,
Yeah.
as if you land, so
It connects to it.
automatic connection.
Exactly.
Now, yes. The company will do the installation and construction of this new Freetown International Airport.
Yeah.
Make them a point of duty. They make them as a point of duty. SUMA make as a point of duty. That the sooner you enter within the confines or any time that you find yourself in this airport when operation commence, it has to be internet savvy. You want to check email? Yes, it get for possible. You want to make a WhatsApp call? Yes, it get for possible. You want to sit down? You look at film while you wait for the flight for the land? Yes, it get for possible. Because now this, now the facelift, now this, now the upgrade, now this, and the modality about the airport, what they say. Because you cannot be certain infrastructure and you don't put them basic amenities there.
Okay.
The other thing I want to touch quick before we go to this.
Yeah.
Now the old airport, the sooner you calm down, in fact, the old airport, when they put you boxing and the conveyor belts, then they go and for down. This new conveyor belt they bring for you now will protect these boxes, so we can reduce the breakages. Now, the management of this new airport, therefore, ensure say you may not get business at the airport, not get nothing for going at the airport. It will not be as business as usual when people in the rush for you for taking the works and some the missing action. We come to the trolley management system. When they display the trolleys then, and now say, wow, now we are talking business. First they struggle for trolley, but now they don't scatter trolley and stand. Not be there you skelter over the place. Now there is control. So then population used for sea, we enter the airport fata and they do things there randomly. It is not going to be like that. DJ.
All right.
Things
Okay.
are gradually taking their formal calls with respect and dignity. I believe Leone, they find the right path.
Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Kai. Somebody just sent a message on Facebook say the background fee by the Salon Airport. I don't know if na TV they watch or na radio they listen to, Brother Kai.
Me?
Yes.
I dey look on my computer. I dey see you, Brother Bass. I dey see Westminster background.
Okay.
I dey see Brother Mengot. I dey see, yeah.
So now the new airport say according to this person. Is it true?
You see, a question.
It said it said the background, the studio background, sound like the new airport. Me know this salon, so I don't know. Now you only tell me if not true because you
Not
say.
true. Not true. They tell you so. DJ this. Not true. They tell you so because it is illuminating.
Okay.
This new airport is illuminating.
All right.
Now light. When I go DJ base, I see the installation of solar panels. There is no panels.
All right.
Random panels, fleet of installation of panels are there.
Okay.
So the sooner you enter, you're facing a small US today. So it's an amazing thing as a country. I only hope that everybody will appreciate this airport, be proud of it, and let us take care of farm. And Bambara like we own kind products, and let us tell me about it. I tell you, if now other countries they do this airport so, for example, the very Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, brother, the Egypt. If you don't turn on Facebook,
all right.
if you don't tire, they will not send all kind of message, beautiful message.
Okay.
And also finally, we as Sierra Leoneans rewrite your storyline.
All right.
Don't rewrite your storyline.
Okay.
They will tell you your story.
Okay.
Nobody will tell it for us.
All right. Thank you very much. Maybe in a few seconds before you go, Brother Kai, what think would be, the message to, tourists that want cancel, because we believe, say, maybe as part of the tourism ministry, or maybe when I negotiate, maybe and say, for let people in Kaya go get, and can do tourist business, go get visa free or so, if possible, so that they can encourage more people for cancel alone. And more plane than for come, because like you mentioned again, and like our brother Mangots mentioned, the more plane come, the more they get passenger for go back, go make more planes, one for Kaya. So on the tourism part of it, so what's in on a message to people who want come and say, well, in stories, then you say goodbye.
We message to all tourist generating regions there or the upstairs. Sierra Leone is a visa on arrival. Brother Base, it will surprise you how this one entry for increase the number of tourist arrival from 50,000 to almost 150,000. And the new arrival on the Spanish market is 2,000 for last year's statistics will read. Because they no longer struggle for going to enter skelter and look for visa. The sooner you hop on the plane, you come down at Freetown, and a very Leone airport, they don't stamp you visa and pay you small for pay. And access, you don't get so. It's going to be more faster now with this new airport with internet savviness and all of that. The message to those regions and to we the Sierra Leoneans, let me talk about country positively, let me market town and invite people for come and enjoy with beautiful culture, with music, heritage, and with natural attractions.
Okay, maybe I'll go at this quickly. We know say your port tax be known and be improved. On recently where they had, I know even at $25, way equivalent to certain amounts. It go be increased, or what's you go say about that? Because then they have another thing where people be they complain about.
I think a while at the close up, I'll happily tell the listeners and viewers and say the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs and National Tourism Board don't do a lot of cabinet paper to cabinet explaining to them how the $25 they serve as a barrier for tourist arrival. And to be frank with you, the ministry, the board, and other partners and agencies are severely looking on the waiver of the 25% because we as a sector is a barrier, and we will continue advocating on it till something is done positively. So all man will go jiggy skayama.
Meaning reducing it or wiping it off totally?
I talk about waving it off because it's a barrier.
All right.
It's a barrier.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Not reducing it, but waving it, yeah.
I think if they wave down, they go help a lot for let more people go, because then the one, like you mentioned, the barrier to a lot of people back and forth. So thank you very much, Brother Kao. We wish you all the best. Hope to talk to you in the future on AYV from the United Kingdom.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. All right, we'll go straight to Brother Menjo before we try for wrap up. Brother Mengot, I beg your pardon. Brother Mengot, what you would like to say before we wrap up, and hopefully next week we'll go talk about the Iron Project, because this one can take with time now, and you don't listen to Brother Kai from the ministry. What now you take, Brother Mengot, about the yes.
Which I would say, I tell Brother Kai, thank you for all the new facilities we don't tell we see and get. But as we can say, waiting people they were not to waiting day no more at the airport. But then for future, I look at Lunge as an economic hub. I think so waiting the government for the do now with this new airport, because it's like an attractor for industries and planning. So by now, 4 ministries get for work together. We are the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Trade, and then the Ministry of Public Works and Assets. So now we get a structural plan. We go look at the economic side of it. You look at the tourism side of it. So it now becomes that whole area now. It will absorb some of the extra population from Freetown, the decongestion. It will provide work for youth man them. So what we not get in our country, and we get for think seriously about that. These areas we are very important area. Now for them we get a proper structural plan, do proper zoning, get a host of economic activities, and then it will yield fruit. Now that we call in planning and economics the multiplier effect. So once more, I'll say thank you to the ministries and the OPII for their work, but the work just starts. We have to take the next step for see how we make planning and operation of the airport linked with hospitality facility, employment facility, tourism facility, and then they will be to the benefit of the economy. So now we party more than they. But we Sierra Leoneans abroad, for me, as I travel a lot, I look forward for using the Blue Lounge. Because lounge, I mean, I don't use the one next door now, Monrovia. It costs only $50.
Okay.
Where down there you can get good reclining area, you get Wi-Fi, you get your oti, then you get small finger buffet. I look forward for can look at the lounge, the quality and the price. So I thank you all very much.
All right, before you go quickly, I just want to engage you for the next 5 minutes because I've been supposed to get you for a different program about the IROM. You can just tell me your connection and as a contractor before and what do you foresee or what do you expect or what is your advice and what is the IROM project, what is there about? Because very important, I know say, I mean, would expect say boss then get for calm, we know say then get for make boss all same, then get for, I mean, expand the road in different places. As an expert, you can just share that experience there before you left we.
Well, I mean, I was engaged in the World Bank, the IROM project as a consultant for the past 2 years. And what do they look at? First of all, we get for look at how we regulate to public transport. So they get a new Sierra Leone Public Transport Authority when I'm responsible for regulation. Where now we get Road Transport Corporation, but the Road Corporation, then they provide buses, then also get regulation. So now governments no get no business for do with transport operation, now any part of the country. So now they go to the private sector. So you need to develop the private sector and strengthen them. So when I finish my official engagement with them, I work with the private sector and the Poda and bus owners. So as I can tell with family now, we don't get a registered Poda and bus owners association. We also get a registered passenger welfare association. We want all the public transport operators and the Poda and the bus, let them join the association there. So we'll provide them with technical advice. We will provide them with training, things to do with fleet management, vehicle maintenance, vehicle scheduling, routing. So you get the private sector side where me they help strengthen, because we no help on the government side. Now they're on the private sector side. And then as this project they come through, we go talk the next time we'll meet about how we plan the transport, public transport, where we get what we call mass transit system, na strategic routes.
Okay.
So like that Okada and Keke, we get for zone them. They're not for the run all side like Gongobi. So then go they provide feeder service to the high occupancy bus there. Where next time we'll meet, I will able to explain to people them which you have been on do and which you are continue for do, and how are they liaise with the Ministry of Transport and the regulators.
All right, thank you very much. You find out and say goodbye for now, Brother Mengot.
Well, my final word for say goodbye, transport, are the main thing in any country. They affect the economy. We get some transport, then we get then temo on the road. And then all fit for purpose. We know say government don't bring fitness tests. We look at how they will improve on road testing for vehicle. But now improve with transport, and if we get better transport, improve transport, it will help even the marketeer there and the business people them. Because any way they do in that country, they are transport. If you go buy good supply, you get for put transport cost there. If you accommodate yourself, the toll gate self, na transport cost. So now look at how we improve transport, get modern transport system, and get competent drivers them for reduce accidents. And if we get quality and people are able to afford the transport system, then our economy will grow. So me are all for transport improvement, safety, and better system for all Sierra Leoneans.
Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Mengot, who appreciates you based in the UK right here, who appreciating time and for sharing experience with we. We'll give a talk to him about the own advice and how you're able to get advice about so drivers them and the IRAM project. Thank you very much, Brother Mengot. We wish you all the best. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, DJ, and I wish everybody a pleasant weekend.
All right. Okay, family, welcome back. You listen to AYV Radio 11.7 FM. You watch me on AYV Television, channel 33, and online on www.ayvnews.com. And also, you also watch me live on Facebook. We go get a break. We will take a break. We'll come back. Stay tuned, stay fixed, stay glued, and just stay easy to AY.